Hey loves, this video may contain sensitive topics, so viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back, my budget family. It is Deborah here with Stewart Well Budgeting. Here we do all things savings challenges, money management, debt payoff, cash stuffing, budgeting, the whole 9 yards. And we also do what we're going to be doing today, which is Candid Conversation. I am sure that you have seen the title of this video, but I just wanted to express this is going to be a more serious conversation, if you will. So, based on what you've read in the title, based on what you've read in the description, based on the warning at the beginning of this video, you can decide whether or not you want to stick around for the remainder of what we have to discuss. But I think it's time that I address, perhaps maybe for me, and for many others, I don't know, an elephant in the room. And so let's get into today's video. Let's go. All right, so first of all, it feels so good to be back in front of y'all, recording this video and, just taking some time just to talk with y'all and communicate with y'all. And, we are coming up on the end of another year. And yeah, we have come so far from where we were at the beginning of this year, 2025. For all of us, I'm sure, have had its highs and lows, but we have gotten through it all with the grace of God. He has kept us and He has brought us through, and all things are still working together for our good. And so I thank God for that. We are in the middle, literally smack dab in the middle of the holiday season, and well, I guess we're coming to the close, so we're not necessarily in the middle, but I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. For me, Jesus is still the reason for the season. Okay. And I just want to say Merry Christmas. And for those, who do celebrate the Christmas holiday, because not everybody does, and even some Christians don't celebrate it. So if you celebrate it, Merry Christmas. If not, I completely understand. And I also want to say, for those who are enduring this holiday season and you're dealing with the hardship of losing a loved one, someone or something special to you, I want you to know that you are going to be in my prayers throughout this entire holiday season, whether it was a family member, whether it was, a job loss, whether you experience, I know some people who are out of homes because of unfortunate circumstances and fires and things like that, and so they're displaced. So whatever your grief looks like, whatever your loss looks like, I want you to know that I am sincerely praying for you, that God's peace, His comfort, His strength, His provision is made for you, and that you end this year better, at least in a better or a happier place than you have been. All right, so I just want to talk today because so everybody knows, and because I've repeated this so many times in these videos, that I just celebrated my 30th birthday, okay? And the week before that, so my birthday was on December the 4th, which was a Thursday. So the week before that, which was what just so happened to be Thanksgiving, I had started fasting. And so I'm going to fast from Thanksgiving to up until my birthday. So the fast would be over December the 4th, which was my birthday, at 12 a.m. in the morning. So my entire birthday, I wouldn't be fasting. You understand what I'm saying? So I did that. And I did that because I wanted to get spiritually rejuvenated. I wanted to spark my passion, my desire for God and His will for my life. I wanted to get back on that. I wanted to refocus. I wanted to shift my perspective. I wanted to go into my 30s having broken some cycles and having faced some realities in my life dealing with me, because I'm the type of person where I do not desire to be better than the next person. I desire to be better than who I was before. You understand what I'm saying? Like better today than I was yesterday, if that makes any sense. So I did that consecration because I needed to break some cycles, some patterns, some behaviors, some things that I found myself in that were counterproductive to what I wanted to see in my life. Okay. And so I wanted to do that comprehensive thing because it would kind of like be spiritual, but it would also be me reestablishing the fact in my life that I can be disciplined. This is important why I'm telling you this. Reestablishing in my life that I can be disciplined, that I can tell myself no, and be strong enough to abstain from something when I understand the why of why I'm doing it, right? For instance, abstaining from eating fast food when I know that my goal is to be healthier and to, you know, make healthier food decisions. You understand what I'm saying? So I did that. And when I say the level of freedom that came during and even after that consecration was just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, because during that, of course, I did not only not eat, but of course I was praying more. I was reading my Bible more. Like I was talking to God more during that time. And during that time, I was able to see so many things about me that I needed to work on. And it was just one day, y'all, it was one day where I was on my staycation. By the way, part 1 and 2 has already dropped at the time that I'm recording this video. Part 3 will be dropping tomorrow, which is Friday. Okay. Y'all probably won't see this until, well, I'll probably get to y'all Friday. Sorry about that. Okay. So I think I ended here. If I didn't, sorry, it's gonna seem weird me picking up here, but this is what I feel like I remember ending at. There was one of the nights where, you know, I just sat there and I, you know, was on my staycation and I was on like the top floor and like, I guess it looked like a penthouse. Go and look at those. I did a tour in part 1 of my birthday vlog on my second channel. And so I was in there and I was just looking out the window at night. It was like 1, maybe 2 in the morning. And I was just talking to God and I was just crying. Like, oh my gosh, I was crying out so much. Like, and I'm talking about that boo-hoo, like serious, like, yeah, now, okay. I was crying out because it was like, you know, God, I'm sorry for mishandling our relationship. Like, I'm so sorry for mishandling our relationship. Like, being so entitled to constantly go to him and ask him for things, but don't just go to him and talk to him. You know what I mean? Like, God, I love you. You know what I mean? Like having that conversation, like, thank you for everything that you did, because I'm not going to lie, the months and the weeks and certainly the days leading up to my 30th, all of this is important, y'all. So this is why all of this is in here. This might be a little lengthy video, but if you got to pause it and come back later, do that, because I think it would be helpful. Leading up to my birthday, my 30th, I was like, there's so many things that should have been done by now. Like, why is this way? Like, God, I feel like, you know, I'm in church. I feel like I'm leading the way that you desire for me to lead. Like, I'm doing what you're calling me to do. Like, what's really going on? Like, I show the light in the love of Christ everywhere that I go. Like, why is my life not measuring up to where I feel it should be right now? And I found myself repenting and saying, God, forgive me, because I got for months, I was hung up on what wasn't. That I forgot to take the time to thank God for what he has done for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, my life, it has changed so drastically in the last few years. In a good way, And I haven't spent enough time showing him my gratitude. So I had to apologize for that, because I'm like, yikes, like, I gotta do better. So in the midst of all of that, and in the midst of understanding that while I have been doing good in my finances, it's kind of like a roller coaster. It's a major roller coaster. And I am not where I should be financially, if I'm going to be honest. Not where I was, but I'm not where I should be. Not because I don't have the tools, not because I don't have the resources, not because I don't have the knowledge, but because I lack the discipline. The discipline was lacked. Cannot lie there, will not lie there. The discipline was lacked. And I'm going to talk about some unhealthy behaviors that I have had in this financial journey that has made me take a step back and say, like, you gotta fix this. Like, if you really want to do better, and not even just in my finances, but in my health. God, I wish y'all could see how big my stomach done got. And if my stomach done got this big, Lord knows how my back look. The back got to be big. So in multiple areas, okay? In multiple areas of my life, I lack the discipline. And I'm doing better, but I have to come to the realization that there's some things that I need to address. And if I don't address it, there's going to be a problem. Okay. First things first. Okay. So let me hop into that and not go on any longer. I'm not going to say ramble because I think all of that was important for this conversation. Okay. Now, y'all may not have heard this, but this, I know y'all have seen this on my channel before. All of my sweatshirts, my crew necks, my hoodies, and all of that are like outer layers of jackets. Okay. As you can see, that's purple under there. They don't match. They don't match. But this is because I see this as a jacket. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? So you might see this more than once, but that's only because it's covering up the actual outfit underneath. Okay. Anyway. So first and foremost, one of my unhealthy habits that I need to break. Pulling up on my phone. One unhealthy habit that I need to break is allowing my emotions to control my spending. There is a challenge I have that's called the Mood Saver Savings Challenge. And in that challenge, it says even on the label of the challenge, no more emotional eating, now it's emotional saving. Or no more emotional spending. Sorry, no more emotional spending, now it's emotional saving. Because I used to be an emotional eater. Whether I was happy, whether I was sad, whether I was depressed. It just so happened that I was depressed a lot of the time. But whatever emotion was prevalent in my life at that time, I ate food to satisfy that emotion. Okay? If I'm anxious, let me get some food to satisfy that anxiety. Same thing with my joy. Same thing with my depressed, whatever. I was an emotional eater. And then I wanted to break that, right? I really wanted to break that. I ended up with hyperthyroidism at one point, and I blown up like a water balloon. Like I was just huge. And that was because of that. But seeing myself in that light made me say, I cannot do this anymore. So I started to do better with my eating. Then after that, okay, hold on. So I wanted to break that cycle of emotionally eating, right? And so I got past that part of my life, but then it was like, now it's emotional spending. I would just buy and 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 buy. And I'm not in a relationship, don't have no kids. parents are good. I was just money here, money there, money everywhere. Give them my money. You get my money. You get my money. Like everybody get my money, right? Like that's what it became for me. And I had gotten to the point where it was just like, I can't do this anymore, right? Like it's becoming a problem. It's becoming a problem. And so for me, emotional spending is an unhealthy habit that I have to break. But this one right here that I'm about to say next, because I only got these two, because the first one kind of ties into the second one that I'm about to say. This one right here is something that I had to come to an understanding of because it's a cycle that has to be broken. And I'm determined that I'm going to break that cycle. Okay. And that is the cycle of addiction. All right. So this is not to put my family business out there or anything like that. This is just to testify of a truth. Okay. My parents will talk about, their past before the Lord changed their life and saved them. They'll tell you their testimony, all of that. So it's not, something that I am ashamed of. It's not something that, I feel like is wrong to state. But it's something that I had to come to terms with. So I've been in church all of my life. And so substances weren't really something that I was into, right? Never had a drink in my life, never smoked in my life, never, did any of that in my life, right? It's just not something that, I ever got into because I was raised in the church, right? So that's not something that I had to experience. But I think that we kind of get it wrong when we think that the only kind of addiction can be addictions on substances, right? So my parents at one point in their lives, they were addicted to substances. Some of my other family members were addicted to substances, right? And I'm thinking, well, because it's not I'm putting on your screen, or because it's not that, then it can't be an addiction. Like it can't be addiction. And I had to grow up. Because I'm thinking, well, it can't be this, but I'm showing addictive behaviors in how I'm spending my money, in my attachment to food, right? And so when looking up the definition of addiction is the state of being compulsively committed to a habit or practice, or to something that is habit forming, to such an extent that its cessation causes severe trauma. Like if you stop doing that particular thing, it's going to cause trauma to you. And I had to realize the fact that I was so addicted to spending that if I wasn't spending, I felt like, oh my gosh, like I'm not living. Like my life is boring, it's dry. Like it made me feel like, oh my gosh, I just have to spend this money. Like I had to, sometimes realistically speaking, I didn't even have to spend the money. I just spent it because I was so addicted to spend it. Why am I buying 10 more clothing items when the last ones aren't even worn yet? Why? I really, really don't need this organizer, but I'm going to buy it because I feel. Sorry about that. The lighting is shifted in the whole nines. I'm going to try to wrap this up really quickly. But yeah, so I become so addicted to spending, to shopping, to the entire 9 yards that not spending sent me on a tizzy. It sent me on a spiral. I didn't know what to do with myself. So in hopping into this journey of stewarding my finances well, it challenged that for me. It challenged that addictive spending behavior. And it was good. It was going good for so long. As y'all can see, y'all saw me finishing some challenges on my channel. Y'all saw me budgeting and doing all of that. Y'all saw me complete my very first $1,000 savings challenge. Like you saw me in my time of consistency. But because I hadn't dealt with breaking that cycle of addiction, it was only a masquerade, but for so long. It could only help me, but for so far, right? Which is why I had to keep YouTube as my accountability partner, because the moment that I stopped doing it as that cover up, as that mask, as that shield, it became, girl, go back to what you were doing before. And so those periods of times where I would get in a funk, or my life would just not be going the way that I wanted to, and I stopped recording, I went back to, girl, go ahead and spend that money. Spend the money. And it was that way to the point where it was like, okay, now I'm spending my money on food. So I'm emotionally, it's spend eating, right? Like I'm just spend eating my money up again. Even after having all of these beneficial tools and resources and telling other people ways that can help them be successful, because the things that I talk about, the things that I do, the processes that I lay out, they work. I'm telling you, when you get into it, they work, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I know for a fact that they work. But this right here, it was something sitting in this right here that kept pulling me back. It was that cycle of that addiction. Like, no, it's not substance, but you have a compulsive behavior. You are compelled to spend this money because it's there, because you have it. And until I broke that addiction, it was going to keep me hostage. And it's one thing that this one saying is that an addiction to anything can be fatal to any effort. An addiction to anything can be fatal to any effort. And, you know, when it came to my mind, I was like, man, that's so true, because, like, I'll give you an example. For substance abuse, that individual just wants to get that feeling, that high, that whatever it is, you know, that they get to feel. They just want that. But they have to risk everything else. They have to risk their health. They have to risk their cognitive abilities. They have to risk their finances. That's why many end up in the state of homelessness or going from pillar to post, because that addiction sucks them dry. It's fatal. It's fatal. It's fatal to any effort. And my effort right now is to steward my finances well. My effort right now is to be financially and fiscally healthy and wealthy. And I can't do that if I don't handle this addiction, this thing right here that keeps drawing me back into it. Like, I'm not just talking about I enjoy spending. No, because I think we all do. But I'm talking about when I'm not spending, it's kind of like, yikes, what's going on? Like what's happening here? Like, we gotta fix this. And that used to be how I was with eating. It used to be and so it's like, I have to break that cycle. And as you can see on my channel, I'm becoming more consistent in my saving. I'm becoming more, like, to have a savings book. And another thing is, when I started this journey, because I hadn't yet broken that cycle of addiction, it was like, oh, I want this binder, and this binder because it's cute, and that binder because it's cute. I want this challenge, and this challenge because it's cute, and that challenge is, and don't get me wrong, I'm gonna still be buying my binders and my challenges. That's not what this means. That's not what this means. But I was buying them so much and so much and so much, and now I just have binders that are sitting in the corner. Because I realized, Deborah, you brought them because you could buy them. You didn't buy them because you saw the need in them. So to now have a particular savings challenge binder where my money is going in, to have that unbreakable box where my money is going in, and to be consistent. Do y'all understand? The unbreakable box is unbreakable because not necessarily because it's actually unbreakable, unpenetrable. But you know how some piggy banks, they have that little thing that you can switch off, twist off, and you could go in and get the money. So the unbreakable box is like the only way that you can get this money is if you really go to town on breaking this unbreakable box. And so, excuse me, that is the fact that I have not taken a hammer to that unbreakable box should tell you everything that you need to know, because it's not sitting there because, oh, she has money and everything. She doesn't. No, it's sitting there because I understand that I have to break this cycle. That was a reason why I got it, is to break this cycle. No, you are going to realize what it means to put that money away and keep it there, right? You do not have to spend it just because you have it. You have to be okay with telling yourself no. And honestly, if you were around when I did my no spend, what was it, January? My no spend January. Oh my gosh. After that, after having to tell myself no all month, when I finally got back to spending, it was crazy. One second. The ankle probably done shifted like 11 times, but it's okay. That no spend had me shook, and it was something that I committed myself to never do again. But after that no spend, if you have been paying attention, if you've been here for a while, and by a while I mean since I've been on this journey, then you could tell that after that no spend, something in me broke. Something in me changed, and not for the better. I feel like that's when that addictive behavior, it was like, you tried to suppress, you thought you was doing something, but let me show you who the real boss is right now. Like that addictive behavior came in like a storm. And no matter how much I fought, it was not letting up. Hold on. But yeah, so it was like those addictive behaviors like came rushing back at me, like with no stops, like no plan to stop. And ever since that no spend, it has been hard for me to recover. And that's why I am committed to never doing a no spend again. And it was good and bad. Good in the sense of it showed me the struggle that I have. Bad in the sense of it showed the struggle that I have. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's good that I now know, Deborah, those behaviors are still there. So you have to address them. You have to work on them. You have to do what you have to do to make sure that you are not enabling yourself ultimately. And so I've committed to, I'm never doing a no spend month again. That you will never see again on this channel. Even with the cycle of addiction being broken, I'm never doing that again. But I will say there may be times that you may see me do a no spend, like this week I want to challenge myself to not spend for 2 days. I might do something like that because it wouldn't trigger me. Do you understand what I'm saying? It wouldn't be a trigger for me. But I will say that that's another thing that I'm learning on this journey, like this financial journey, is that one thing doesn't work for everybody. So while there are a lot of people who are out here and they're doing great with their no spend journeys, I just realized that's not for me. Okay, it might work for you. And matter of fact, go ahead and try it if you want to. Go ahead and try if that works for you. But I realized that it doesn't work for me, and that's okay. It's okay that not everything that works for everybody else works for you. Now, you can't be the type of person that's like, no, none of these work for me, because I feel like you might be being a little dishonest because you're not allowing yourself to truly give anything a try if nothing works for you. There are too many strategies, too much information out here to help us all be successful for you to say that nothing is working for you. Like, I would just have to question if you've really, really given it all you can give it, you know? But yeah, so that unhealthy behavior is that emotional spending and that addiction. I had to break that addiction. So you may be wondering, well, what did you do? I'm telling you, that week of consecration, it changed this, it unlocked this. Do you understand what I'm saying? I had to steal away and go on a little staycation and just have my moment of just me and God, just having like some us time and Him clearing the clutter that was up here. And I feel like ever since then, I have been so on point. Oh, and I don't think that I ever finished my thought about the binders because I narrowed it down to specific set of binders. And I had to get past, well, if she do it on YouTube, they're gonna feel like, oh, she does these same challenges all the time. Like she need to switch it up. And if you know anything about me, I like switching things up. I really do. I just posted a video about switching up my wallet. I had to, yeah. Now that I gotta switch up. I'm sorry. I gotta switch up. Okay. I need my wallet to look as pretty as I want to feel it looking pretty. Okay. But I had to say, no, but you have a purpose. So if they enjoy your content, they'll come and they'll watch your videos. And it just so happens that my savings challenge videos on my channel are actually the least watched like videos on my channel. But that's okay because y'all finna keep getting them. and you are. You're gonna keep getting them. And not because I'm trying to force something down your throat, but it's just I enjoy doing them, so I'm gonna bring them because I enjoy it. But yeah, so having that one savings challenge binder that I can open up and look in there and I have challenges going and they're active and I don't want to stop is getting me back to where I was when I first started this journey. But now my commitment is different. My commitment is different because now I cannot let those addictive behaviors stay attached to me. And some things are cyclical, some things are generational. And just because I am not abusing the substance, that doesn't mean that addiction is not something that I wrestle with. And I had to come to terms with that. And because it was, let's talk about it. Because it's not me anymore. I had to do some soul searching and say, hey, if you want to see a change, you got to break this cycle. You got to break this compulsive behavior. Now, when I don't spend, I feel okay. I really do. Like last night, I went to the gas station. And when I go to the gas station, I'm going to get me some snacks. I'm going to get me some gas station snacks. Okay, I'm just going to do it. But I went to the gas station yesterday and I was like, I'm here to get gas. Put $40 on the tank. It came back to like 29 and some change. When I went up in there, in my mind, not gonna lie to you, in my mind I wanted to say, yeah, give me this, give me it. But I just took the change and went back to the car. Just so that you know I ain't playing. There's the $10 right there. And then the change is in my jacket pocket. I gotta put it in my wallet. I didn't spend the money. Because this time I'm serious about breaking that unhealthy habit. And so I want to say, I guess that's my challenge to you is at the remainder, but before this year is out, do some soul searching, man. Like talk to God, like, God, what behaviors am I doing that's hindering me from being as successful as I can be? Whether it's in your health journey, whether it's in your spiritual journey walking with God, whether it's in the relationships that you're building, whether it's in your finances, what am I doing to contribute to the unsuccessfulness? What am I doing? And that's what I had to do. And I'm in a much better space now. And so I think you all should see better from me on my channel. And of course, we'll be bringing back Candid Conversations. I don't know how often they will be. I only speak when I'm, feeling led to speak like in this kind of an event. But yeah, I just wanted to come and I just wanted to chit chat with y'all because I'm leaving out of 2026 so much more focused and excited and determined. And I feel the joy about doing this financial journey that I had in the beginning that I lost at the top of this year. And I'm excited to get back to it. So the next stop for me is it with my business. I got to figure this business out because it's just so crazy to me how I it's just been so hard to find the time. It's been so hard to find the time. But y'all, I graduate next year. Hopefully, child, just keep getting pushed back and pushed back. At this point, we just hopefully have to get out of there before Jesus get here. Mine's supposed to come out next year, and I'm going to take a major break. And so I'm believing that 2026 is going to be a groundbreaking year for Shop Debernay LLC. And I'm looking forward to it. But that's all that I have to say for now. Hopefully the video wasn't too long. Sorry for all the lighting changes. Sorry that the light is not on, but this is the vibe. I'm chilling with this right now. Okay? But I love you all, and I pray that you have an amazing holiday spent with your family, your loved ones. And if you'll be spending it alone this holiday season, find a way to love on yourself. I love you all so much. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Until next time, you all be well. God bless you.